One of the biggest features of New World is actually what I believe to be one of its biggest problems. In this video, I'm going to be going over what that problem is and making a case for why it is a problem. I know some of you may disagree, but please just watch the video and hear me out before you jump into the comments telling me how wrong I am. Now, what is that feature? It's the classless system. Just hear me out, so let's get into why I think it is. So one of the main things is that having a classless game makes it super growth dependent to give people things to do at the lower levels. If you don't have to make alts, then everybody's already at the end game, and any new players are stuck not having anybody to do lower level dungeons or content with. If you go over to World of Warcraft right now and you want to run something that's lower, or you need to do some earlier dungeons, or even just not running Mythic Plus right away, you need to do heroics or something, there are people running that content. And it's not because it's their first character and they're just like you, it's because they have alts. They have other characters that they want to run through that content. They have other classes that they want to try out, and that is a massive thing that is missing when it comes to New World. In New World, you only do these things for the most part once, unless you decide to go to a different server, make a new character or something like that. But when it comes to your server, you have your one character. And once you've passed that content, once you're done with it, you don't really have any reason to go back and do it, which means new players are greatly hindered. They don't get to have all these people to do things with because the servers don't have new players. This issue is only exacerbated by the low server populations, right? So because their populations are so low and servers get locked, well, if the server is locked so new players aren't able to make characters on there, then you only have the people at the end. So anybody who did make a new character can't even have other people come and join them. Again, one of the reasons why it's especially bad for New World. In general, with New World, we see a lot of peaks, right? We see an expansion drops, a content patch drops, and this stark peak, a lot more people jump in, and then it goes down really quickly. You don't see that go down quite as fast in a lot of other games. And I know it's somewhat related to the content, but it's also because in those games, you might get through some of that content or reach a certain point playing a tank, maybe you're playing a warrior, and then you go, you know what? I want to try being a mage. I want to go DPS. I don't want to be a tank. Or, oh, you know what? My guild needs a healer. I'm going to roll a healer. And so you end up having to go and get this whole new character in this class that is way more definitive, way more separated from the others than, let's say, New World, where you just swap weapons. Now, I understand you still have to gear those things up or level them up, but it's not quite the same. It's much more refreshing when you make a whole new character that's a whole new class versus, oh, I just put on some new weapons. Some of my gear still works, some of it doesn't. And speaking of gear, doing it this way that New World does makes you have so much gear sludge, just so much to sift through and look at and get because, well, it's one character that can do everything. So you're going to have different sets for every single thing possible that you want to do, then a different set for PvP, then a different set for this expedition, and a different set for that one across all the different builds you might want. Maybe you want to do sword and board, you want to do a healer with a life staff, you want to do the void gauntlet, the new flail, the great sword, whatever it might be. You have to have all of those different items in one place on one character in a game that already doesn't have a great storage system. Having alts where people can decide to jump onto a different character and do those things again, or to seek out the items for that character and not have it all mix match is what I think makes for a better game. It allows for more replayability. Yes, again, I understand that you can simply change the way you want to play the character you already have and not have to level it up again, but I don't think it hits the same way. And I also think it holds back what is possible with New World. In a game like World of Warcraft, there are way more abilities. There were more things to differentiate each class and each build in the class and the different specs in that class. Whereas in New World, it's like, okay, you're using a rapier? Well, here's your 2 trees, not that many options, a total of 6 different abilities. You can use 3 at a time, and it just doesn't have as much variety. And I think this is largely because they have to handle all the possible interactions because everybody can use everything. And look, don't get me wrong, I understand the idea of, well, I don't want to have to level up 17 different characters, and I don't want to have, I get that. I don't have to run the same content over and over, but for the game itself, for the actual quality, the replayability, making it more exciting and varied, I think class actually works better than classless. With that being said, let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me if you love it. Tell me if you hate it. I want to hear all of it. Maybe it'll change my opinion. Maybe it won't. But let me know down in the comments below. And for more New World, MMO, and RPG content just like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content so you can see more just like it. Until next time, good luck in your adventures.